Yeah, yeah.
What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. We are back again, and you know what that means. It's another episode of Raw Goodness where we talk about all things life, real and uncut. Okay. We are back with part two of our nonprofit series. I'm working on one more part. And I'm not even mad at how these are falling, y'all. So we did part one, and then we took a little break and dove into some personal growth things. Back for part two, and then there may be a part three. I have to follow up, and I'm really excited about the part three because if this person comes through, um, it is an organization geared to help. I believe trans in general, but it is basically founded by a trans man. So super excited for that. Um, that being said, make sure you tune in. Make sure you're following the Facebook page. It's under Raw Goodness. We have a page and a group. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I'll be just barely posting the flyers, so have those notifications on, okay? If anybody is a social media manager out there, please lend me your hand. Um, but definitely excited. So next week, stay posted for what the topic will be next week. I'm thinking of something a little special. Hopefully, I don't have to hold it off until the end of the month, but we'll see. And then the 19th, there will be no episode. I'll remind y'all of this, but I will be getting ready to go out of town and have a good old time that weekend. My flight leaves at like 5 something Thursday morning. Yay. So Tuesday, I'm gonna pack all my stuff so that on Wednesday when I get off, I can make my way down to Cincinnati. I gotta take my dog down there. So yeah. Yeah. Okay. So y'all know our ground rules. You already know what's up. If you are a regular and you have not already went to the page and shared on all your social media, this very live, I'm not quite sure what you're doing. If you did not bring a friend, go get one and come back. Number two, number two. Okay. Um, if you didn't subscribe, subscribe. Remember, we have a goal of. Let me see. Where is it? We have a goal of. Where'd my goals go? Okay, 500 subscribers in total. So we're at 65. We've already increased 30 over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So that's crazy though. Y'all doing it. Super, super happy for that. Uh did you say hello when you got here? If you didn't say hello when you got here, I'm gonna need you to say hello. Cause do you walk in other people's house and not speak? I don't think so. So make sure you say hello when you pull up on us, okay? So we can acknowledge you properly. This is a little different than Facebook. I don't see you come in. Definitely different than TikTok. I really don't see you. We can see everything on TikTok when you come in the room, um, but yeah, you gotta speak to us. To the conversation. Boom. Just that easy. I posted it to my Facebook. And y'all should do the same. Other than that, kick back, relax. We're gonna have a great conversation. We're gonna start with our Thomas. These lovely ladies are gonna introduce or reintroduce because if you remember, Jamaica's already been on here once upon a time. So they're gonna introduce or reintroduce themselves. You guys can tell us, um, if you're sharing your program, share what your program is. Maybe share uh, a little bit about yourself in terms of like how long you've been in the nonprofit world. Um, what's your favorite ice cream? What do you like to do on the weekends? Who are you? Those type of things. So we're gonna start with our Thomas and then go around the room. You can take it away.
All right. So I currently work for a nonprofit that serves children ages birth to 5 and their families. It is a state initiative, so it's not something that I came up with. It's something that the state does, and it's in every county in North Carolina. So I've been doing this now for 2 years, but I've been in the nonprofit world for my whole career. I started with Head Start, working Head Start, and then I moved to this arena, but it's always been geared toward children ages birth to 5. So that's my main focus. Um, you said favorite ice cream. I can't really eat ice cream because I'm lactose intolerant,
Oh
but if
no,
I do get ice cream and I want to suffer, it's probably going to be like butter pecan or something like that. Uh,
not and I want to suffer.
yeah, because I'd be suffering,
It was
literally.
a yeah for me.
It is.
Yeah.
I have to suffer. I'm trying to think what else you said. What I do on the weekends? Not much. I have two children, so I do hang out with them. I'm also in school for my master's degree, so I have a lot of schoolwork that I do on my off time. So
Ooh, what's your master's in?
it's in nonprofit leadership and management. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, so this is really kind of like deep rooted in you.
it
You
is.
don't see
I'm
yourself
passionate.
leaving this sector, huh?
No, I'm not. No, next step is probably executive director, and then CEO, COO. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, let's speak that because baby, we are definitely goal oriented around
Ooh,
here. We
nice.
love, 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 love a goal oriented woman.
Hmm.
Um, is that all? I don't want to cut you off.
No, I think so. I think that was all your questions, right? Because I couldn't
Oh,
remember. I think.
perfect. I mean, you did good. You did very well. I've been like, and my favorite color is blue. That's what I got for you. That's what I got. Okay. Destiny, you'll go, and then Jamaica.
Okay. Hey everyone, my name is Destiny, CEO of Kalea's Destiny, and it's a nonprofit here in California to help women that's experiencing postpartum disorders. And um, I actually started because of my own experience with postpartum psychosis, and I realized how hard it is to, get help, or if you don't have like a support system or family helping, how easy it is for DCFS to get involved. So my whole plan is to basically be the mediator to where DCFS doesn't get involved, or where it's prevention. Basically, let's prevent this from happening. Let's
Mhm.
put services into place. That's what I'm hoping to do. But as of now, we're just planning baby showers, community baby showers within the community, to kind of just help women um, as they're going through their pregnancy, basically.
Okay,
And
I
my
love
favorite ice
that.
cream is, I don't like ice cream. I don't like ice cream. Oh wait. Let me think about it. I don't know what it's called, but it's like it's on a stick and it's chocolate. It starts with an M.
Magnum.
Yes. Oh, Magnum. Yes, I like.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I
that
do.
fancy ice cream.
I do
You
like the
got to get that on
Magnum.
sale. You got to get that on
The
sale. Yeah,
way it
absolutely.
kind of just like crunch and melt in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then
Girl,
uh, and what
I
I
was
like to
about
do
to
for
end the whole stream. You said you don't like ice cream.
I just thought about it because I'm not an ice cream person. But I was like, okay, but when I do see those, I do pop those in my mouth though. I ain't gonna lie. But
Okay.
so what I do for the weekends, just be a mother. Sometimes my children, they're booking roles, so sometimes I'm on set with them.
Oh, booking roll.
Um,
Where,
yeah.
where they booking rolls at?
Out here in LA.
Oh, the only roles I booked, they right here. So that's why I ain't booked no other roles.
I'm done. But yeah, so basically it's just like
That is so dope. Oh my
just
gosh, I love it.
reconnecting to myself, reconnecting to my higher power and
Right. I love
leveling it out.
it. I love it. All right, Miss Shamika, allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Ho.
Hey,
H-O-O-B.
hey.
Hey, fam. My name is Reverend Jamaica Matthews. And when I was on the show before, I was on a ministerial staff at Bethel AME Church in Los Angeles. But now I am the pastor of Paul E. Kidd Good Shepherd United AME Church in San Diego County. The city is Lemon Grove, but it's in San Diego County, if that's
Mhm.
easier for everybody. And I serve as the VP of Kalea's Destiny. I am the mouthpiece. I'd like to talk and engage with those who are interested in working with our organization and pumping Destiny up and reminding her that she can do this. And
I
she has
love
a story to
it.
tell. My favorite ice cream is chocolate. Love, love, love chocolate. And to my sister above, if you try one of those oat milk or almond milk ice creams, you'll be just fine. Some of the companies make it and they taste just like the regular one. You get the full flavor
Mhm.
without the
Mm.
extra pain and discomfort.
I've
And what I
tried
do on the weekends, huh?
I said I've tried them. I don't like them. They don't. It doesn't
Oh
taste
no,
like it's like Dairy Queen butter pecan ice cream.
oh
Oh, so you
no.
like a
Okay, we gotta
specific
find a thing.
brand, but a pecan.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Oh wow. Well, we'll see what we can recommend. So you
Okay.
can have that great experience with no discomfort.
Mhm.
And then on the weekends, I am usually doing something with the kiddos or sermon prepping for Sunday. And right now, I'm the director of a virtual campus for Bethel, LA. So I do their church school on Saturday evenings. And if I have a free Saturday to myself, I'm probably doing somebody's project. I have to learn how not to work. But I also am a virtual assistant. And so I'm an administrative assistant, executive assistant remotely for some nonprofit organizations, some ministries, and those who have businesses and they have too much on their plate. So that's me.
It sounds like your plate a little full too.
Mm.
No, it's getting ready to get lighter. So I'm like, Lord, what do you want me to
Okay.
do now?
Okay. I just had
Because
to look for a second. Like it sounds like your plate a little heavy over there. But thank y'all for sharing. So okay, so Artemis, you have two kids. You
Yeah.
said that, right? Okay. Destiny, how many babies you got?
I got three. Two of them just walked in.
Hey kids. And Jamaica, how many do you have?
3, 2 boys and 1 girl.
Ooh. All right. Okay, I'm the auntie. I got a puppy and a kitty. That's all I got. I'm the auntie. Um, okay, okay, I love that. I love that. So we're gonna dive right in, get straight to the heart. Why nonprofit? Why is that something that's dear to you? Specifically, Destiny, you can answer how you came about founding Kalea's Destiny. Okay.
Okay.
So why
So yeah,
nonprofit?
so how I came about creating Kaleigh's Destiny, right, is the
Mhm.
name is, well, my name is Destiny, but then the spelling of Destiny is Destiny, and the name of the organization, but mine is spelled with an I. And my daughter's name is Kalea, right? So
Okay.
when I was going through the postpartum psychosis, I don't know if you're aware, but a lot of women who end up being diagnosed with that, they end up harming their children. You know, when you're seeing in the news, they've, drowned their kids. They've, recently there was a woman who believed that the world was going to end. I believe she's out here in LA and she was driving on the freeway and threw her newborn with the other two kids out on the freeway.
Yeah,
And then
I
she
did
ran her
hear about that.
car, yeah, into a tree. So it can be like, it can start with like delusions, and I think some people kind of miss the mark because, in the people of color community, we
Mhm.
typically tend to be religious. So you don't catch on to when somebody's being like ultra over religious and it's not, normal at that point. But so
Mhm.
basically I knew I had it when I was holding my daughter and like my mouth started watering and I didn't understand why, but I had like
Mhm.
intrusive thoughts.
Okay.
And the intrusive thoughts was to eat your daughter. And I freaked out and panicked like something's wrong with me, right? Like my body's
Yeah.
reacting. I'm kissing her. I'm telling her I'll never hurt you. I'll never harm you. I'll never harm you. So I went to call family, and sometimes in the community, I'm just going to say it, they're not the best support. It's you had them kids, you deal with them. So I had to tell somebody how I felt, and I checked myself in. A relative came and got my children. I checked myself in, and they tell us like, hey, if you're feeling some type of way, go check yourself in, go get the help. So that's what
Mhm.
I did. I didn't do anything to my children. I came out. Next thing I know, DCFS is involved and my children are taken.
Oh.
So, how are we getting penalized for doing the right thing? That's the question for me. They
Right.
say if you're having these feelings, if you're going through this, seek help. But then when it comes to, I'm just gonna say it like it is. Here, hey Kalea, say hi. This is my daughter. She's 9 now. That's Kalea.
Hi.
So so what made me create it is that after I went through the DCFS system, after I got my children back, I did what I was supposed to do. I realized that there's a lot of other women who are experiencing the same thing.
Yeah.
Just being a single mom and they don't know what to do. It's just like, it's overwhelming, right? And
Right.
so it made me want to like be um basically some organization that could prevent that from happening. Like, let's put things into place so that
Right.
we can keep these families together. So that's kind of what made me create Kalea's Destiny. I understand how it feels to have postpartum psychosis. Is
Hmm.
it took me, I want to say, a year and a half, 2 years to fully get over it. Um, but I'm glad I experienced it because it allowed me to empathize, because I was one of them women when I heard the stories, because there's a lot of stories out there. This woman, drowned her kids, and I'm like, oh, she needs to go to hell. Why would you do that to your kid?
Hmm.
Until you've been through it yourself and don't understand how the brain would play tricks on you, and have you believe in delusions that, you're not, especially when it comes to sleep deprivation. Let's not
Well, I
forget
was
that.
just gonna say that. Yep.
When you're
Mhm.
sleep deprived,
Mhm.
and you don't have that support, anything is possible.
Right.
So that's kind of what made me create Kalea. That's actually what made me create Kalea's Destiny. So it's basically saying like she has a destiny now that I went to get the help that I needed. I took the
Hmm.
medication. I did what was requested. I did a lot of soul searching, but she's here today because if I wouldn't have had that one moment, to be like, okay, you're tripping, anything, I could have been in somebody's prison walls right now.
Right.
So
Right.
that's basically why I started it.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. A lot of nonprofit, a lot, all I feel nonprofits that I've spoken to or been involved with, um, they created a community to solve a problem.
Mhm.
So creating that community definitely has to be so very helpful for mothers who go through that. Again, I'm not a mother. I didn't want to start the journey by myself. So and I understand, right? Like things happen. You might not always be with the person you created these children with, but I didn't want to start by myself. So I never first of all, God blocked it. Okay. Um, let's talk about that first and foremost. Back in the day, God was like, I don't think it's time. So so God blocked some things there, but now I don't even want to think about starting a family without a partner, and I'm 37, so who knows if that will even be a thing. I know how I feel when I'm sleep deprived by myself. Okay. I couldn't imagine being sleep deprived and having to provide for a baby who can't tell me what she wants, he wants, can't tell me what they need, can't tell me anything, and I'm here alone with these four walls. It'd be enough with me and these four walls by myself. So I can imagine adding a little baby to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Jamaica,
And,
since you are, I'm sorry.
and having to nurse, and then all the nutrients are coming out of your body at the same time. So you're
Yeah.
like, you're depleted. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I'm sorry, I got to bring God into this, because as I look back at scripture, then I realized through my struggle why it was
Hmm.
designed the way it was supposed to be designed. Because
Hmm.
doing it on your own is not it. Like, it's not it. You're putting yourself
Right.
in a position that it is not our role. So it's kind of like you
Yeah.
yeah, like the sleep deprivation. Yeah, that's a big one, and trying to get your hormones back regulated. And
Hmm.
I don't think people really understand how important that is.
Yeah. Pregnancy definitely takes a woman's body through a lot. From what I hear, from what all my friends have said. Jamaica, since you are VP of Kalea's Destiny, um, tell me about your heart for nonprofit. Why did you, or how did you come to be involved with Kalea's Destiny? We'll start there, wherever you want to take us.
Okay. So I grew up in the church, which is a nonprofit organization, and my father was a pastor. And in our home, we were like that safe haven. Like not always, but there were sporadic times where we had people staying with us in our homes if they were going through transitional periods. Um, my aunt and my uncle were transitioning out of foster care, and my mom was their older sister, and that's who the social worker trusted. And then my dad was a social worker outside of being a pastor, and so it's just in my DNA to help people be
Right.
better. And so the second nonprofit I worked with is called Crystal Stairs. It's in California, and they help families obtain childcare and help
Mhm.
them pay for childcare and get back to work while helping them pay for childcare. And so I've known Destiny since she was 12. She used to
Oh,
come
wow.
to my previous church by herself and sit in the balcony. And so we reconnected. It's been like 2 years, and she asked me to help with an event to do the social media management. And so that's how we reconnected. And then just working with her on those two events, she was like, I need you to stay and I need you to be a part of this and be on the board. And I said, yeah, because I went through postpartum for 2.5 years. I didn't
Right.
have to the depths of what she experienced, but I had that moment like driving home from church. And this thought comes like, I could just run the car off the road. The kids won't feel it. They're asleep. And
Mhm.
so I know you're not supposed to text and drive, but I had to get on Facebook and like, I need y'all to start praying. Because all I wanted
Right.
to do was get them home safe and sound, get them out the car, and I could sit in the car and like, Lord, what is going on? Like, I don't like feeling like this. Yes, I had a therapist and all these things, the hormones, my youngest kids are a year and a half apart. So I was literally coming out of postpartum and then going back into it. And so
Right.
back to back postpartum depression, and just like, this is no joke. And why aren't we talking about this more and helping the women, and not just the women? Because I'm pretty sure if men can feel those sympathy pains, I'm sure they can feel postpartum too, with the
Right.
family transition and things of that nature. So it just really is close to my heart, knowing what we've both experienced, and then trying to ensure some way, somehow, that other women and families don't have to be in it by themselves.
Right. Do you think just from, because I feel like some men aren't, or let's say partners. 'Cause it's not always men, because some women aren't either. But do you think some partners um aren't attentive enough to catch the postpartum?
For
Definitely.
me, when I first experienced it, I told my husband, I said, something's off. And when I
Uh-huh.
figure it out, I'm going to tell you what's going on. Because
Uh-huh.
I knew I was becoming distant. I was irritable. I was pushing everybody away.
Mhm.
It was more like I was so defensive. And I was like, but nobody's hurting me. There's no domestic violence. They're just trying to love
Right.
me. But I couldn't, like, there was no space for me to embrace it and to accept it and hold on to it. And
Mm.
so when and that was the grace of God to even recognize something was off. But just to
Right.
be able to say, I know I need help and I'm going to get it. And then I can explain to you why. I'm just like, don't touch me. Back up.
Right.
And the thing is like, back up, homie. And he's like, what are you talking about? But like, listen, because it was uncomfortable. In
Right.
my family, their love language is touch. And
Mhm.
so I was like, oh my gosh, here come the hands. They just want to touch and want to
Now you're
hug. And I'm
coming
like,
hands. Here
so
come the
yeah,
hands.
yes. And even now, like, since I've done a therapy and I still have a therapist, I do have some moments where I can recognize that it's a postpartum moment.
Okay.
If I'm becoming too overwhelmed or stressed out or feel like everybody's pulling at me, but nobody's stopping to ask how I'm doing, then I'm
Right.
just like, this selfishness is making me feel some type of way, and it's reminding me of these postpartum moments. So,
Okay.
but also to answer your question, I do think the healthcare system needs to involve the partners more, because it's still
Right.
heavy. Women are going to the appointments, going to the ultrasounds and all this stuff, but there's that disconnect between the mom and the dad and everything her body's going through, everything their lives are going through. There's still
Mhm.
a great disconnect. And if they can remember that she's not in this by herself, there is a partner, then that would help them navigate that transition of after life after labor and delivery?
Life after labor and delivery definitely sounds like an MTV special.
Right. Life after labor and delivery.
Like, but it's a real
If
thing.
I
It's
can pick,
definitely a real thing. So we're not gonna take away from that.
right.
Um,
I was real quick though. I want to piggyback with what she
yeah,
said. Like
for sure.
even having children, and my children are older, but they don't talk about that enough. You know what I mean? Like I don't
Mhm.
recall. Like I have a 16-year-old and 11-year-old. I don't recall them preparing me for life after, after giving birth to this child. So, not even just educating the partners, but educating the mother, the person that's having the child as well. Because I don't know, you can, like you said, it can be completely different experiences. As you both know, you have multiple children. So I didn't feel the same with one of the other. It was different experiences. So I feel like they definitely need to educate moms as well.
Mhm.
That's just my take on that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so our Thomas,
Mhm.
your heart for nonprofit.
Yeah.
What
So
drives you?
So my it's kind of like Jamaica said, as far as it being stem from like my family dynamic. My mother was a social worker, my sister is a social worker, and I've heard and seen a lot of things that go on in foster care systems, adoption, just in general in schools, things of that nature. So I wanted to help, but in my own kind of way. So my first passion was teaching, and I started my career out in teaching. But then I wanted to do more because I was working with like underserved families in these
Right.
populations where they don't have a lot of resources. So I'm like, what else can I do? I don't want to just be stagnant here. Yes, I'm making a difference in the classroom, but I know I
Right.
can be doing more. So then that's what encouraged me to look at other ways that I could still
ADM.
work with children, but not directly like in a classroom.
Right.
So where I currently work at, a lot of the programs that we offer are to prepare the children and families for children to enter into kindergarten. And then we also provide a lot of resources. I write grants so that proposals for grants so that we can assist with like basic needs and all of that because as a whole, a family has to prosper together. So if the child's not good, then
Mhm.
the mom's not good, the family's not good. So we look at different things to try to provide also resources as well. So I think just making an impact and just hearing the stories and talk to these people, boots on the ground. We are in the community a lot. We do a lot of outreach. We
Mhm.
offer programs. We also advocate for just early childhood education. Talk with a lot of political people, senators and
Right.
congresswomen and all of that. So I think just trying to get the word out there that, early child education is important. These are vital years. And we should take it just as serious as we do kindergarten through 12th grade. So
Absolutely. I started off. I taught 3, 4, and 5 year olds for a long time, over a decade, for over a decade, and I worked for Head Start too.
Mhm.
And y'all know my heart was crushed. I know there's a lot going on, but baby, when I heard Head Start funding was gonna be pulled, I was like, oh no, what about my babies? I ain't even worked in a Head Start classroom in like 4 years, and I'm still like, well, what about my babies? Because that is such a golden age. I absolutely adore it. Um, that's the age I met my goddaughter too, my
No.
baby. Um, but yeah, definitely vital years. Definitely important work. I think people confuse Head Start with preschool, and no shade to preschools or daycares, but it's not the same
Mm-mm.
by far. The standards that Head Start classrooms are held to completely different.
They
So
high.
if you
Mhm.
get your child in a Head Start classroom, hopefully you have a fantastic experience. But overall, the curriculum is different. It's just a whole different vibe,
Mhm.
whole different atmosphere. Um, so thank you for all that y'all do. Um, what's the hardest part of being involved in a nonprofit, starting a nonprofit? What's the hardest thing? What makes you be like, ugh,
For
if
me,
I
I
could
think if I could start, I think it's just wanting to help everybody. It's like I'm only one person.
yeah.
And we, as a nonprofit, I'm sure, you ladies are familiar with this. We don't get a whole lot of money. We're not in it for the money because where is it
Right.
at? It's not, we're not in it for that. So it's passion that drives the work that we do. And we're only a staff of 14, and we are stretched thin. We're stretched thin, but funding is limited. So that's why I go out and write, find grants that I can write so we can offer more services and things like that. But I mean,
Right.
that's just a waiting game. And if we get it, we get it. We don't, we don't. We try for something
Right.
else. But I think just wanting to help everybody. I mean, we get so many different calls and just people coming to our offices. Even if we can't offer them services, we try to refer them out to other places that can help, whether it's with rental assistance or whatever, taking a shower. We have a bathtub at our office, if they need to do that, because we do work with homeless families as well. So
Oh,
I think it's just
That's
trying to
really
help,
good.
wanting to help everybody is what my biggest problem is.
right. Right. What were you about to say, Destiny?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with her. I was
Oh,
just agreeing. Yeah, like so I think, yeah, wanting to help everybody, because I started with postpartum and then I'm like, but then they might need housing. So I want to see if we can do some housing things. And then I'm like, okay, but then if they need housing, then they gonna need help with the rent. So now I'm gonna try to get some rentals, so it's like, cause I have like big goals, but I'm learning
right.
how to just like stick it, to one little lane for right now. And
Mm-hmm.
funding, that's another thing, like going after the grants. Um, to be honest, I'm gonna be real honest. I need to switch up my board members, period, point blank.
Okay.
Because if they don't have the vision, or it's like it's stagnating the process. You get what I'm saying? So right now I'm on the verge of looking for more board members, because they're what makes it maneuver the right way. It makes it
Right.
keep going. Like, you know, um because I'm more of a like a startup, but we have done like events with Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health, Cal Mesa, things like that, raising
Mm-hmm.
awareness. We've had red carpet events, things of that nature. But it's kind of like I'm at the point now where it's kind of like, okay, I want the funding so that I can do what I came out here to do. So
Right.
trying to partner with more well-known organizations to kind of get your foot in there is kind of difficult, actually. And then right now with Trump doing what he doing, taking federal, and Lord, I don't want to get on that. So he just doing too much at this point. So now it's kind of like leaving everything up in the air. As far as a lot, because the funding comes from grants. It don't,
Right.
and donations. So if you're cutting off federal grants, and it yeah, it's just the funding part, and just making sure that your board members are on the same page as you, which is why Jamaica is the vice president. She's always been there. She's always willing to help, always, because um and um what's another one?
If I can touch on the board member thing,
Yeah,
uh,
go ahead.
real quick while you're thinking, having people with the same vision goes a long way in almost everything that you want to start, right?
Hmm.
The podcast, for example, started off with 4 co-hosts, me and 3 others.
Hmm.
Hi, I'm your host. So if you don't have people with the same vision, the same drive, the same passion, and you're trying to bring them along, ultimately they're gonna pull you down. And I'm sure you've
Right.
experienced some of that, knowing that you have some people who don't have the same drive, the same vision, the same passion. Even in when I was president and regional director of my sorority, hey
Hmm.
y'all, we gonna do this, da 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 da. I'm putting it out with passion. It's not an organization, but it's an organization I joined and I served. Hey y'all, we're about to do this, da 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 da. And they just like, oh, okay, okay, okay. Next day, next week, next month, nobody comes through on their part. Right,
Yeah.
Jamaica? Right? Okay, so if y'all don't know, Jamaica's my soror, but it's life happens. It just is what it is. So yeah, I mean, we have to absolutely align ourselves with people who see the vision and catch the vision, adhere to the vision, live the vision, or else that could ultimately bring everything crashing down.
Right.
Regardless of how strong you are, um, especially as the founder, Destiny, regardless of how strong you are, um, having those bad apples. They say one bad apple ruined a bunch or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You get that one moldy strawberry, it's about to be 17 after that. Okay, I feel a little
I don't
offended that
want
my
it.
strawberries went bad.
Right.
Um, Jamaica,
Yes, ma'am.
hardest part of being involved in nonprofit.
Um, I would say the funding. Like, if you don't have a grant writer, it can be a little bit of a headache, a stressor, because we've had our moments where we filled out the application exactly how they asked us to. We answered everything to the best of our abilities. We triple check, quadruple check, and still didn't get the grant. Um, and so having that moment of, oh man, we didn't get it, and then like not staying in that moment, but like, okay, so better, or
Your
how
service a
can
little
we
nervous.
around and Destiny
Jamaica, your service a little nervous. You got to go back to the front of the store.
uh,
You got to go back to the front.
hold on,
Go back.
let me back up.
Grab your milk and eggs and go back to
Is
the
that
front.
better?
I'm not sure. Keep talking.
I'm in the ice cream section.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Is that better?
yeah. Let me put in
No.
my
Yes.
favorite type. I like Ben and Jerry's peanut butter half baked, or like a simple cookies and cream. Okay, so while you in that row, go ahead and pick up our favorites, and we'll be waiting. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Is that better?
It sounds better.
A little bit. Okay.
Yes.
So it's just not staying in that space of when you don't get what you've um deserve to get. It just might not be the time for you to have it. So
Right.
Destiny took a certification course to be a grant writer, to gain a better understanding of what it's going to take to get these grants done. And in all honesty, it's just like when you read a contract and they have the legal terms in there. Some of these grants, I'm like, what? You have to Google the words. Like, what does this mean? What are you really
Mhm.
asking for? And even though they
Mhm.
have Zooms to explain what they want, after that Zoom, sometimes it's just like, okay, I heard you. I saw the PowerPoint, but
Mhm.
and so I think yeah, that's the major thing. Outside of that, I'm always that I can see the sunshine at the end of the what seems to be a dark tunnel. And I'm like, Destiny, you've done your part. Or whoever it is, you've done your part. You did everything you were asked to do. So we're just gonna take this moment and get ready for the next one. Or while we're searching for grants, what can we do in the interim?
Mhm.
So
What
that way
was
you don't want to throw in the towel.
right? Right. So, what was some of the I want to say that maybe like creative ways that you either got funding or accomplished a goal within your organization for like an event or something or to serve a family?
So we recently did a toy giveaway
Mhm.
in December for the third year, and so we were blessed to partner with Toys for Tots and Sparks of Love,
Mm-hmm.
um, and with the radio station called K Love, and so Destiny did her thing because she's very good at finding resources. So we have balloons, decorations, tablecloths. We have music. We had a photo backdrop that was donated for the event, and we had
Okay.
more than enough toys. And like these families to see their smiles on their faces and to hear some of the stories, like we didn't know what we were going to do for Christmas. We didn't know how we were going to get gifts for the kids.
Right.
Like literally, these kids have more than enough, and we're like, that's what it's about. Seeing those
Mhm.
babies smile and those parents, like that stress was just taken off of their shoulders. And so then we're like, next year we will contact like Little Caesars or Domino's and have asked them to donate some pizza and just make it bigger because we did have a hot chocolate bar, but it was just a joy to be able to make that small difference.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I don't want to know anything past this. Okay. Do y'all have y'all EIN for a nonprofit?
Yeah.
Because a lot of companies need that for donations and stuff.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, great. We're done with that topic. Moving right along.
Yeah.
If you don't, let's just say Trump is affecting my life too. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he is something else. Something else. Something else. I'm sorry. I'm just
Um, uh, did you want to add to that, Destiny?
Oh no, I'm just agreeing with you to Trump something else. That's all I was
Oh, no,
saying.
no, no. I mean, with what Jamaica said, Jamaica over here, with what Jamaica said in terms of like how you guys came up with resources for your events or
Mhm.
creative things that you had to do, people you reached out to. Did you want to add to any of that?
Yeah, well, kind of like when we did the red carpet events, it was like really nice. We had some comedians come out to make people laugh.
Mhm.
We had a panel there of mental health workers. It was like it looked like a carnival, kind of like it was carnival setup, jumpers,
Mhm.
and like I really like that. And we had like I want to say people were interviewing us. We had two good events. I really appreciate that. Like, and we all came up with the thought process of how to make it come about, and we
Mhm.
did it. And that's what I respected.
Jasmine down here laughing at your commentary. All right, Thomas. What about you? What about for your program?
I could say the same. Like, 'cause like you said, funding is always an issue. So we're always looking for different ways to supplement that. So, one is grants. I didn't come into this role being a grant writer, but somehow I ended up being one. So I have gotten several grants based on writing them,
Mhm.
for things like basic needs and things that we can't supply with our funds that we receive from the state.
Right.
And then also, like, we do events too. We hold events for children. So we do get donations and we do blitz in the community where we go out. We have, our little cards that we pass out if they want to give out donations. And that seems
Mhm.
to work a lot. We get the food donated, a lot of like the giveaway items, gift cards, things like that we give away at these events. Trying to think what else. Of course, we're always advocating for donations. That's on our flyers, and we're out in the community. We have like the little QR codes, so if anybody wants to
Mhm.
scan and give, they're able to do that easily. Um, yeah, I think that's about
How
it.
long has your organization been around?
Uh, 30 years.
30 years. Okay.
Mhm.
So, as an established organization, do you feel like people see the name, recognize the name, and more freely give because of the name as opposed to what might happen with a startup organization?
Um, yes and no. So I say no for the simple fact that I feel like people in positions sometimes ruin the name for the organization. And I know that prior administration wasn't the best. They worked as an island.
Mhm.
And anything we all know, working with nonprofits and just being in this field, you can't operate alone. It's
Mhm.
definitely, it only can work on partnerships and being out in the community and making a good name for known for yourself, and
Right.
just collaboration. That's a big part of what we do. So we don't just work by ourselves. We don't just feel, act like islands. So I think that now, yes, I do feel like our name is out there a little more. Now, we still
Okay.
have the same issues as the smaller organizations, like you were saying about the board. If we could just get them so get on board, then we'd be great. But it's like pulling teeth, like you said. But they have to have a passion for what you're doing, and I don't care
Okay.
what you do. It's been hard to get everybody on the same page and to get them to advocate for like fundraisers and things that we do. So
I don't know how much you can answer this.
mhm.
What um um what would be the process of essentially creating a new board?
Well, we can't create a new one. Like we have people that they can have a term of a certain amount of years,
Okay.
and so they rotate out. Once we get someone out, like we have to by the state, we're required to have members that are in different aspects of agencies. So, say some in social work, some in um, a private or for-profit organizations, and then a certain amount we have to have percentages. So we're required to have certain amount of people in different categories. So that's the thing.
Hmm.
It's a little tricky.
Is it the same for you, Destiny? Like, are you required to have those people in different sectors, or
Yes. Yeah,
okay?
it depends on how you established it and what you put in your paperwork when you
Mhm.
filed it. So um ours is we have to vote, um and they have to agree to either switch roles or to bring someone else in. So
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that a little bit? I'm completely ignorant, right, to establishing a nonprofit. Once upon a time, I wanted one, and then here we are. So I'm completely ignorant to establishing, like, I guess the bylaws. I don't even know if that's what they're called,
Yeah.
of a
Yep, the
nonprofit.
Yep,
bylaws,
it's
yeah.
How did you guys, or I mean, I know you might not know specifically our Thomas how they created theirs, but what are some things that stand out to you? What are some things you feel are important in the bylaws?
Mhm.
What are some things you're like, I would tweak this. I might be looking to change this. How did you even start to do that, Destiny? That's a big question. But like for anybody who's watching, who might want to start, kind of like
Well,
put it in that mind frame.
for mine, I had somebody go through with me and kind of show me um like how to do it.
Hmm.
But for me, one that stick out is that when it comes to paying the board members, it's supposed to be a voluntary situation. And I don't think that a lot of people understand what they're signing up for when they become board members. They automatically think, oh, we're getting paid. Now, what you can do is do stipends, and you can like repay people for gas and repay people if they put into the let's say if they donate something or they pay for something, then you can reimburse them. But that's why it's kind of hard when it comes to board members, because they in their mind it's like, oh, we're getting paid, like we're up there, we're getting paid, we're doing this thing. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. It's really voluntary. Actually, I believe it's against the law to pay your board members. So if you're not voluntarily doing it, then uh and I think that my problem was is I was nice and I was paying people to do their job.
Oh.
So yeah, be only because they were like helping with the events and things of that nature and how fast it was coming, and I couldn't
Hmm.
catch up. So um like that needs to be established that it's a voluntary position. It's not something that you're going to make money off of, but you can get like stipends, or um if you put into it, you can get reimbursed, or gas or things of that nature if you're traveling for it's like that. I'm saying it right, Miss
Mhm.
Ramis?
So it was really the particular grant that we got for the two events we had. You had to identify who your admin team was, because they had to
Okay.
be paid. That admin team had to be paid. It wasn't the board members, but it was like the admin team, and then the photographer, videographer, um, the red carpet team, the catering, all that kind of stuff. And then they did leave room for if you desired to give a small stipend or a gift.
Hmm.
Since that was a part of the team that wasn't necessarily earmarked at the top of their spreadsheet. Yep.
All right, Thomas.
Well, we don't pay our board. They know it's completely voluntary, and it's actually in our bylaws, that they don't get paid for their services. What we do get or receive from their time of just attending meetings and being volunteer for events and things like that, is non-federal match. So their time, we get a certain amount of money in our non-federal match because we're required to get a certain amount of hours from volunteers and things of that nature to supplement the work that we do, because we like I said, we're a staff of 14. So, we do rely heavily on interns. We partner closely with like the colleges and things like that. So, and volunteers. So the board members are definitely, it's clear that they're volunteers. I think your question though was bylaws, and I'm very familiar with bylaws because at this organization, because it's very small, our executive team is only 3 people.
Okay.
So it's myself, my executive director, and then the finance director. So we
Okay.
work very closely on every single thing. And also with my degree that I'm in now, I had to work on bylaws and things of that nature. But I think one thing that's important that should be in the bylaws is one, having a diverse board. You cannot have a demographic of board members that don't match the community that you serve.
Right,
It just doesn't make sense because they're not going to get the work that you're doing. That's just that. Secondly, I think another important thing is just making it clear their duties. Because like you said, they'll come in and just think that's it. Just their presence is a present.
right.
We need y'all to be working. So we make sure that we do an orientation once they come in. If you're if you're voted in and you're a new board member, we make sure you do an orientation. The executive director, she meets with our board chair, and co-chair and things like that, so that they stay abreast on everything that's going on in the organization prior to our board meetings, and things like that. So I think those 2 things for me are the most important in your bylaws.
Yeah.
I love it. So time-wise, I got 2 more questions for everybody. The first question, where do you see your organization at the end of 2025? You could answer this in terms of who are you going to touch community-wise? What programs do you anticipate this year? Along the who are you going to touch? Like, how many people are you going to impact? Have you guys talked about those numbers? Is that part of your goal setting? Where do you see yourself?
So I can start. We do quarterly data. I mean, as a program director, I touch every program that comes in our building, and then also as the grant writer, I also have to implement them. So I look at numbers all day, whether it's through the grants that we get and the programs we implement through those, or through the programs that we offer. So right now, I think the biggest goal for us, we are offering a new program that we received grant money for, which is a parenting class for parents that have children on the spectrum. So it's like a support group. It's a support group, but also trainers that come out and help these parents navigate, because nobody knows. You're not given a playbook to being a parent, you know what I mean? And so when these children come with their different abilities, because I don't want to call it a disability, when they come with their different abilities,
Right.
You're not fully equipped, and you need a support group. I mean, as a parent, I wish I had just other moms that I could just, relate to, because a lot of my friends don't have children. So, or they waited later on in life. So thank God for my mother at the time. But, I think, community is important, so they don't feel alone, like Destiny has mentioned, in things, and just knowledge is key. So I think it'll be great. I'm excited. It starts actually next week. So looking forward.
That is exciting. Yay. I love that. I love that.
What about you, Jamika? What do you think?
I would say the community baby showers, and then putting a event together for Mental Health Awareness Month, and then just being able to make more connections with other organizations that service minority parents, doulas, especially minority doulas or Black doula organizations, so we can build up our list of resources for moms that we encounter, because we encounter in our Facebook groups, we live in, and some of the other groups that we are a part of on Facebook. Somebody might I just had a baby and I don't know where to start. So we can connect them with the WIC office, with Medi-Cal, just looking to be able to help in any way that we can.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Jasmine says she loves the program for the parents with children who have different abilities.
Yes, yes. And I mean, and that's something that we had offered in the past, but with funding cuts, I don't know how they expect you to do the same work with less money. So
I have no idea.
that's why we
No
write
idea.
grants and try to get these services out there because it's important.
Destiny, you
And
want
then
to
too,
add?
I think
Oh,
uh,
go ahead, Jamaica.
you can also create a capital campaign if you have a specific dollar amount that your organization wants to raise that year. And those people who know you and love you and the other circle of influences from everybody that's been touched by your organization, they will pour that money into you. So as you're identifying those grants, you can still have money coming in through your capital campaign as well.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think because our organization it wasn't built, it didn't have a strong foundation of fundraising. So we've tried a campaign this year. It did not go well at all. I'm not even gonna lie. Like I think we got maybe $100 and that came from one person. So for Giving Tuesday, which I'm sure y'all are familiar with,
Yeah.
around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So it's been hard because the connections that prior administration had, they didn't have to do any fundraising because they knew people, and we all know it's about who you know, not what you know sometimes.
Right.
Right,
Right.
right.
So they would
Mhm.
just hand over the big checks, and then once that person or these people left, they're like, okay, we're not really fooling with y'all anymore. It's more so based off the relationships. So just trying to, yeah, that's been a hard one. We've been trying to do other things. We did do a summit this year that did raise some money. And just trying to think of just creative ways to get the community involved. Um, and then just also raising awareness of early child education. So
Right. Right. I love it. Um, to end our time together, and I love this for this nonprofit because we ended it like this last time, and I was like, share a success story with us. Maybe of a person that you touched, a family you touched, someone that sticks out in your mind, a child, right? Or Thomas, a child that maybe because ooh, my babies. I really if teaching paid, I would go back.
It's in the cart, please. Can you please get it?
But
I feel like I keep starting.
I would
no, go
I would
ahead.
just say that just the holiday giveaway that we just had, like
Was there
just
someone in specific who stood out to you, or a situation? I mean, a person who
yeah, it was a
family.
woman. Yeah, it was a woman with a family who came, and she was just like really grateful. She just was like, I'm just so grateful. Like I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know what were like, because I honestly, it was about three families. I think
Mm-hmm.
one woman, I think she was going through domestic violence because it was she didn't want us to post the pictures up because you want to like show what you've done, and she was really happy and excited, and she was living in a hotel room,
Right.
and so we actually gave her a bike. And she was like, really? Like a bike? Like for real?
Mm-hmm.
So she was like really excited. And I asked her, "Can I take a picture?" She's like, "Oh yeah, you can, but you can't post it." So I'm like, like, but she touched me because like I kind of put the pieces together, like she's trying to get her
Right.
life back in order. She's in a hotel and then she got this bike and she's just really excited. Like just that one thing just kind of like, made her happy and her son happy. And it just really
Yeah,
touched me. Yeah.
I love it.
For me, it's so many different ones because we actually, we have different programs. Like I said, we do home visit, we do a lot of things. So I hear stories on a daily basis. Um, but I guess one thing that stood out to me in this past year was a family. We partnered with the local school system and McKinney-Vento liaison, which works with
Mhm.
families. And there was a family of like 9, and they lived in a hotel room.
That's a big family. 9 of them
Huge, and it was just
in a regular hotel room.
Oh,
single mother,
wow.
motel, actually, like a motel, just 2 beds or whatever. So there was a grant that came about through Walmart, actually. It was only like $1,000. But I'm like, it could still make a difference in somebody's life. You know what I mean? Depending on
Right,
what
right,
it is.
right.
So wrote the grant, got it. And we were able to pay up her stay at the hotel for however long. I don't even think it may have been only like 2 or 3 weeks, but she was so grateful just because, she's in this situation. Not by choice, of course. It was
Yeah.
almost about to be Christmas. So we did end up also with this family. We paid that, and then my organization in-house, we decided to sponsor this family for Christmas. So we all ourselves went and bought, we got all the sizes and things like that, and we went and bought them Christmas. So when the liaison came, we didn't get to see the family receive the gifts, but when the liaison came to come get the gifts to give to the family, she was just like, wow, like this is, we went above and beyond. Bikes, like I said, everything, like, but it
Right.
came from our personal funds. And as you know, like I said, nonprofits, we don't make a whole lot of money. So it warmed my heart that, the people I work around are genuine, good people, and they want to see the betterment of our community, and the children that not only we serve, but that other people serve. So
Right.
that was one story I feel like it was good for
I
us.
love. Hey, I know a few families who have had to be in hotels, and being able to pay that up for some weeks.
Mhm.
Oh man, I know they were so very thankful
Yeah,
not to have to worry about that. Because at any moment you might have to leave out the hotel if you
Mhm.
can't pay
Right.
it.
Exactly. Uproot your kids. So
Well, but 9 people
yeah, I
and
mean it's a roof over their head, so you know what I mean. Like
it
it
is.
could be worse, unfortunately, but I'm thankful that we were
Mhm.
able to at least do that. So and it reminds me
Mhm.
I gotta follow up with her to see like where they are now. So
I was
Right.
just going to ask, like, did they get a place? What's going on? I want
yeah,
to
I'm
follow
not
this
even
story.
sure. I know I'm not sure, and honestly, just because we do so much, it's just not enough time in the day, and it's not enough people. Like I said, you want to help everybody. I want to help everybody, but
Mhm.
I'm one person, and so
Right. Oh, Jamaica, you still there? I don't know what she's doing. She probably checking out and getting our ice cream, y'all. Well, and even if she's not able to come back, I just want to say thank y'all for the work that you do. I know a lot of times it is relentless. It is consistent. It is forever on your heart, forever on your mind. Um, and I mean, there's not enough accolades in the world that could really um, applaud you the way you need to be. Um, I've I've worked in and around nonprofits myself, so I know too. Like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Um, Jasmine said, "Beautiful stories. You all are doing a wonderful job."
thank you.
Um, but yeah, I just appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for coming on here. Our time is about. If there's anybody in the North Carolina area, I'll let you know if they need to reach out to you. But Destiny, if you want to send me anything further to post in terms of how to reach you,
Mhm.
I will do that on your flyer. Was your website? I think your website was on there.
Yeah, Kalea's Destiny and yeah,
Yeah.
.org.
So
Yeah.
if there's anywhere else that they can reach you or contact you,
Mhm.
I don't know, how far your reach is in terms of connecting people to your organization, but just let me know. You can send that information my way. Again, y'all, next week, keep an eye out. Not quite sure what the topic is going to be. I had an idea and I have to see if I can execute it. It's going to be amazing though if you are able to join. I know no spoilers.
Aw.
No spoilers. Because if I can do it, y'all just gotta come. And then the week after that, we will not have a show. So we will be back. I should have my calendar up. Y'all know, so I'm not an iPhone, and I always lose the calendar on an iPhone. I'm like,
I
how do I
know
work this?
on my iPad I do. Like I have to be like, where is the
It
calendar
doesn't
calculator?
stand out. It needs to have like more color or something.
Right. The calendar
Something.
calculator I'm always searching for. Like, where is this at?
Right. So we should be back the 26th of February. And we are creeping up on our 3rd year anniversary, y'all. I'm super excited. 3 is my favorite number. And I love it. Oh, okay. Well, yes. Thank you, Jamaica. So 3 is my favorite number. So I'm trying to figure out what we're gonna do. So if you guys have any ideas, just slide them my way. And then be sure to follow Raw Goodness Podcast on TikTok. Also, I'm a little razzle dazzle on TikTok, so I do kind of have a spinoff that the next episode should be coming soon. Real Talk with Razzle. So yeah, we got some things in the works. Remember, what was it, 300 or 500? I think it was 500 subscribers, y'all. 500 is the goal. That is the magic number. 500 subscribers, 3,000 watch hours. If you just go back to the videos and let them play on a second device, all the hours count. Okay. Share, subscribe, and until next time, y'all. We're out of here. Have a great rest of your week.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.